Okay, we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good day. This depends on when you are watching. Just want to welcome you today. My name is Clara Lyons, and I am the broker owner of Lyonsview Realty. We do residential, commercial for small businesses and nonprofits, and property management services. And we've got Lyonsview Academy that does real estate pre-licensing education, credit counseling, distressed homeowner solutions, and my phone is going off, uh, and life, health, wellness coaching. So I've got a lot going on. Just want to welcome you for coming today. We launch Financial Fridays to give you resources, information, and tips to assist you in making the best personal and financial decisions. And our commitment is to maximize your wealth building power now and in the future. So I'm really glad that you tuned in. We're here on Fridays at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, so you can like or subscribe to us on Facebook or on YouTube. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And I have a phenomenal guest today. I am so excited to have Miss Candice Presley. Welcome, 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 Candice.
Thank
How
you,
are you?
Clara. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Candice is in my Realtors Nation network. I have known her for a few years now, and she's like who I want to be when I grow up, even though she's younger than me. She is
Oh, stop.
she has got it going on. She's a phenomenal powerhouse in real estate. She's a mother. She's a friend. She was named one of 30 under 30 realtors by the National Association of Realtors in 2008. And
Yes.
that's an award that recognizes young professionals who exhibit business success, community, and professional leadership, and who offer compelling stories and interesting business strategies for overcoming obstacles, which is what we're definitely about. She's got her master's in commercial real estate from the University of Florida, her CCIM, which is a certified commercial investment member. She's on the International Council of Shopping Centers. She also has a real estate school out of Philadelphia. She's a broker in both Philadelphia and Delaware. And she's, like myself, she's the past president of a local board for the National Association of Real Estate Brokers in Philadelphia. So you are in for a treat today.
Oh, you're far too kind, Clara.
um, you got it going on. So I'm just so happy that you could be with us today. Yeah.
My
So
pleasure.
share a little bit about yourself and what you're up to right now.
So, I transitioned from the residential world of real estate to commercial, going on 7 years now. And I have been immersed into the commercial real estate field, which is so dynamic. There's so much more to real estate than just residential. So I've been doing consulting work. I've been doing transactions for businesses, purchasing building, leasing buildings. I've done a lot of leases here of lately. And also, again, some of my clients that were doing some, had some smaller, multifamily properties or residential properties. They're doing bigger things. So, I'm helping them, with those larger projects. I've gotten more involved with project management, which, wasn't really what I set out to do, but it so happened. So I'm helping, manage, zoning approvals. I'm helping with some construction management for my clients. So, my roles just kind of get bigger, and my base has just gotten a lot wider. So I'm glad to, be able to do it. In '08, you mentioned, when I was president of the Philadelphia Realtors, I was I wasn't in commercial real estate then. I was only doing residential. And one of the things that really made me want to do commercial was, when everything happened in '08, it just crippled our businesses in terms of residential real estate and the mortgages. And I said, I want to be able to do more. And that was one of the reasons why I decided to, really try to immerse myself into commercial. So I'm blessed to be able to do both now.
Indeed, indeed. And
Yes.
there are not a lot of women in commercial real estate.
Oh no.
It's a predominantly male dominated
Oh
field.
yes, Clara. So commercial real estate is a whole less than 2% of minorities are
Wow.
represented in that field. Again, less than 2%. So,
Wow.
when we think about like, we're closing out on Black History Month, and I said I'm going to do a segment on my channel about what Black History Month means to me. But I
Yeah.
remember when I was trying to make that transition, it was difficult. You know, the it was difficult on so many different levels.
Mhm.
One, as a residential agent, commercial agents look down on residential agents. They just like, oh, you're not on my level. You're
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
would look down on you. And I would, when I finished my degree and from at Florida, I was interviewing for positions. And I remember going to one interview, and when I walked in the door, it was like double eyes on me. I
Right.
guess they didn't know. Yeah, I guess they didn't know I was Black. And it was just. I said to myself, I know I'm not going to get this job. It
Wow.
was working for a developer, kind of on the lower end, and an analyst, and the whole process. Where I did the interview, they had you do like a test, not like a personality test, but it was similar to the LSAT, where you
Wow.
have those games. And I said, am I being punked here? Like, is Ashton Kutcher going to come out? I just couldn't believe it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So, there's a saying, I can't remember who said it. It might have been Shirley Chisholm. If they don't put a seat at the table for you, bring your own chair. And that
Yeah.
was what I took that, because I said, I'm going to get into this. I don't care what I have to do, but I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to, help mentor others. A lot of people have reached out to me, to gain some insight on how they can do commercial real estate. And I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it. Help and bring along the next one.
Indeed. Indeed. My nephew is in commercial real estate in Florida. And,
Nice.
he talks to me, it takes years, months and months and months, sometimes to put deals together in that
Oh yeah.
space. So it's a very challenging space, depending on what type of commercial real estate you're doing. So I just applaud you. I applaud you for taking that step, and I applaud you for hanging in there, because it's not easy. It's not easy
No, it's not. No,
for
it's
uh,
not.
for folks in the fields. Good morning, Miss Rhonda. Yes, one of our viewers who use often. I appreciate her.
Nice.
So, kind of tell a little bit about the difference between, when we talk about commercial, we're talking about, multifamily shopping centers, the type of commercial. And then we're going to jump into the financing, because that's the juice for today in terms of the opportunity and what's going on in this pandemic world. Yes. I can't hear you.
My contractor is calling me from Lowe's.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
Um, so you want me to talk about the different property types?
Just a little bit, and then let's jump into the financing side, since
Okay.
we're on limited time. Yeah.
Yes. So one of the, like I mentioned earlier about the great things with commercial, you have so many different types of properties. And when in one of the jobs I had, I got exposed to all of them. So I did industrial space.
We went out again.
If I could just talk a little bit about how right now things are changing ever so often with commercial real estate because of the pandemic. Um, Previously, you had all of these businesses and office space, renting office space. Now you have people working from home.
Yeah.
You have businesses who are in retail spaces who could not operate. So the big word, or the big thing I want you to think about, is repurposing. Okay. So, you have hotels who've been crippled by the pandemic.
All the
You have, so
that
you
were
have,
closed.
hotels who are all now looking at making some of their hotels for homeless shelters. There's some, spaces with that. You also have, I had a client who has a banquet hall. So, she couldn't hold her events there in the beginning of the pandemic. So what do? You have to figure out another way for your business to survive and thrive, despite what's going on with the pandemic. So one thing that I helped her do or was assisting in, so she wasn't able to have her use her banquet hall in use, she was able to make it into space for the children. And even though all of the daycares and everybody wasn't going to the, daycares, for those that were working from home, they still had a space for the essential workers to come in, and the children would use the space, for the childcare. So, repurposing is, the name of the game. You have to be in business, you have to be flexible and roll with it. So keep that word in mind as you think about all of the commercial real estate types. Repurposing.
Indeed. And so if someone wants to, I mean, there's a whole difference between leasing and purchasing. I just did a commercial class actually, was it Tuesday night? And, that's one of the things that we go over is the difference between purchasing and leasing a space. But for those people who are interested in purchasing, because now it's a great opportunity. It's a great time.
Absolutely.
Because
prices
people
are going down.
On the commercial.
With commercial spaces, we value them differently than we do residential. So it's based on the rent rolls. So now the rent rolls are lower. So that's going to affect the cap rate. That's going to affect the value of the property. So you can, there are some opportunities now in, commercial real estate. So you want to be ready to take advantage of those opportunities.
Indeed. And there is 100% financing for commercial, which is unheard of. Most people haven't heard of it. You usually have to do 30% down on commercial with a 5 to 7 year, balloon.
Right. Yeah. So when we talk about pandemic, the CARES Act was passed. Okay. And this product came about because of the CARES Act. Okay. So it is actually backed by the SBA, the Small Business Administration. And it's for a business owner who's going to occupy space for their business. Okay. They have to occupy at least 51% of that building. Okay. And this product will actually fund not only the purchase of the property, but also some renovations. So if there's a property that needs some work, absolutely, you can. All of it is all in one. Okay. And when you talk about unheard of, it is. So typically the SBA has this same product, but you would have to put down 10%. Okay. So
still not bad.
Right. Still. But, for some people, that's hard, to come up with that. So, this is a great opportunity, and all of your closing costs are all rolled into the loan. So again, you would have that 10% down, okay, or 20% or 30%, plus your closing costs. And, your closing costs can be anywhere from 8 to 10%, of the purchase price. So for them to be able to roll all of your closing costs in there, if you need some renovation, give you the money to fix it, it's a really great opportunity, to say the least.
Right. And what's the payback on that? Is it still 5 years or?
So it's amortized over 25 years, Clara. 25 years. Yes.
Nice.
It's a great opportunity.
And for people to be eligible, what do they need? Like what type of information do they have to provide?
You need to have been in business for at least 2 years. Okay, so 2 years, you have to have been in business. Okay. You're going to need your financials, so your typical profit.
You went out again. So we can't hear
those you. Are typical.
Okay, go back to you went out for the volume went out for a minute. So you need your what do you need again?
You need typical financials. So 2 years tax returns, personal financial statement,
Mhm.
profit and loss statement. Those are all typical with no matter what kind of financing you're trying to get. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
680 credit score. Okay. 680. Yeah,
Wow.
680. And in some cases, that's like not a hard 680. So they could, consider, if there's some things that maybe made it slip a little below, you know, um, so 680 credit score. Okay. And I mentioned before, you have to occupy at least 51% of the building. So what does that mean? I have a client right now who's looking at, we just put an offer in on a mixed use property. So
Okay.
mixed use, the ground level, okay, is retail.
Okay.
Above it, you have 2 apartments.
Okay.
Okay. One of them was rented already.
Okay.
So she's going to occupy the first floor, put her business in there. She actually has a floor. She's a florist.
Mhm. Oh,
She's going to
okay.
put her florist business there, get that other upstairs apartment rented. At the end of the day, after her mortgage payment, she only needs about $500 of her own funds.
Nice.
I
Nice. Nice.
have another client. She's a hairstylist. Now, she actually is going to use the majority of her space because she's got a few different businesses that she runs.
Mhm.
But she needed some industrial space because she sells hair products. She needed space because she's a real big YouTuber. And then she has her hair salon.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, she'll probably use about 80 to 90% of that, that facility. But still, she's approved. She's going to use about maybe 100,000, if that, to do some improvements.
Mhm.
But before she met me, she was looking at renting a space. And I said to her, did you ever think of maybe buying something right now? This market for
It's
you
commercial. Yeah.
is really good.
Mhm.
And she was just ecstatic when she got her approval.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, yes.
So how long does the approval process typically take? Is it?
So I would say about 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to
Mhm.
3 weeks, because they really go through your financials and vet your financials. They want to make sure your business, when your profit and loss statement,
Mhm.
that net income, you need to be able to support that mortgage payment. Okay. So if your mortgage payment is $4,000, $5,000 a month, you need to be showing a net income of 48 to 60,000. They want to make sure if at the end of the day you can afford it.
Right.
So,
Right.
that can be challenging, for some businesses. Sometimes
Right.
businesses want to net everything out and show a loss. You,
Mhm.
you can't show a loss and get a loan.
Right. You need to show some profit.
So your finances have to be in order.
Mhm.
Um, and some other challenges I haven't encountered, but my counterpart that does the loans, Greg, sometimes the properties, may not meet, because they do the whole process. You have to get a phase 1 environmental, and sometimes there can be problems with the property. But for me, what I've seen more is where the businesses themselves didn't qualify because of
Mm.
their finances.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Now talk
Hmm.
a little bit about the other side. So they've gotten approved for the loan. Is it a normal the appraisal process? Like how does the property have, what stages does the property have to go to qualify? Hmm.
So it's typical, like with any other transaction.
Hmm.
You're going to get, go through the underwriting process, which includes your appraisal, also I talked about the phase 1, your environmental. So all the typical components of a typical loan are in fact, in process. And, one other thing, one caveat, with commercial, we don't do like in residential, the seller's disclosure and all that. You got to do that yourself. You got to do your homework. So,
About the property, yeah.
yeah. So with my client right now, we're about to go through the due diligence process. So I'm getting her an HVAC inspection done, because I know the HVAC wasn't all set up. It looked like there were some missing parts there. So I'm getting her HVAC inspector. I'm getting a roofer out there, a commercial roofer, to make sure, what, give us the prices of whatever is needed for her roof. And also one other part, and I actually put a contingency in her offer, was zoning. So she has a hair business. So we want to get the zoning process started and make sure that she won't have problems getting her zoning approved. So, that's another part of it, going through the whole zoning process. And in Philadelphia, if any municipality, there's a process with that. Yeah. But at the end of the day, is it worth it? Yes.
Definitely worth it. Definitely worth it.
Yes.
So I know you have a hard stop, so I just kind of want to do a wrap up. It's 100% financing, 2 years in business, only 10% down, amortized over 25 years. Is there a prepayment penalty for the product?
No, and it's not the 10%. The 10% doesn't apply right now. That was previous to the CARES Act. So it's 100% all the way.
Okay. So no down payment at all. No down payment.
You pay a processing fee, but you end up getting that refunded at closing. And that's like $5,000.
Amazing. So it's a true 100% down payment product. Awesome. So basically you just have to prove yourself financially and the property has to qualify and you're good to go.
Absolutely. That's it.
Awesome. So if people want to get in contact with you, or, what you got going on, what's coming up next for Commercial Candice.
I know, right? So you gotta follow me, and you gotta like and subscribe on my Instagram at Commercial Candice.
Yeah.
You can call me 302-858-0159. That's my number. 302-858-0159, and my website, trinitypropertyadvisors.com. But like and subscribe at Commercial Candice on YouTube and Instagram.
Indeed. And Candice is phenomenal. Just love you to pieces. I just appreciate you for coming on today. And I thank those of you who are watching. If you have any questions, you can put them down in the chat. We'll get back to them later. And or you can call Candice directly with any questions, and to reach out to her for business, because that's what it's all about. So as always, Financial Fridays is here to provide you with resources, information, and tips. And we hope that you got some information of value today. Be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube for this channel. And as always, we send love, light, and prayers out to anyone who has lost a loved one, anyone who's been affected by this pandemic, has anyone in the hospital for whatever reason, and especially to our essential employees, our healthcare, our fire, police, and most definitely our leadership. We just want to encourage everyone to take care of yourself, take care of your family, and to stay safe. Again, my name is Clara Lyons Devon. Financial Fridays streams on Facebook and YouTube, and you can join us again on Friday, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. But until then, keep living your best life. Thank you so much, Miss Candice.
Clara, you're the best. Mwah.